All right, guys, so here is the review for part 2 of our genetics and heredity study guide. So we're going to run through this together. Number 7, because you had 6 questions on the first, so number 7 was long strands of genetic material that store N organisms. Genetic code are called DNA. Okay, you guys should all remember that. DNA stores genetic material. Number 8, what type of gene will mask or overpower another gene? That would be a dominant, right? Dominant gene is going to be the one that overpowers another gene. So then conversely, what type of gene is hidden or overpowered by another gene? That would be recessive. Okay, if it's recessive, it could be overpowered by another gene if the other gene is dominant. Number 10, what does it mean when an organism is homozygous for a trait? Basically, what that means is has two of the same gene, two of the same alleles for that trait. Two of the same gene, two of the same alleles. All right. Homo, the prefix homo means the same. All right. Number 11 was, what does it mean when an organism is heterozygous for that trait? That means it has two different alleles for that trait. Okay. So it could have, say, a tall allele. If it's a pea plant, it could have a tall allele and it could have a short allele. All right. Two different alleles. What is an organism's genotype for number 12? Okay, so that is basically it's the genes, it's the alleles that organism has for that gene. So I'll say that is the alleles that organism has for that gene. So if we're talking about, say, the genes for how tall a pea plant is, all right, you could have one genotype would be two capital T's, meaning two tall alleles, or a capital T and a lowercase t for a tall allele and that's dominant and a short recessive allele. Or it could have two recessive lowercase t's for two recessive alleles. All right, what is its phenotype? Phenotype is basically it's the physical representation of a organism's genes, what you see. Okay, so right here, my phenotype for my pea plant would be tall, right? Because that plant's going to be tall. Here, my phenotype would also be tall, even though our genotype is different. Because that dominant T allele is there, it's the same phenotype as this one. They're both going to be tall. All right, and this is the one that has a different phenotype. These two lowercase t's are going to create a short pea plant, so the phenotype of that pea plant would be short. All right, so like number 14, a pea plant genotype for height is capital T, lowercase t. What is its phenotype? Well, that would be tall, right? Because that plant's going to be tall. And then number 15, an animal, theoretical animal. An animal could have brown eyes or blue eyes. Say it's a dog, right? The allele for brown eyes is capital B, and the allele for blue eyes is lowercase b. Two of these animals reproduce sexually. They both have genotypes of capital B, lowercase b. Fill out the Punnett square and say what they type out. The probability is of their offspring having brown eyes or blue eyes. Okay, so capital B, lowercase b for each of the parents. So this offspring is going to have two capital B's, right? This one's going to have a capital from over here and a lowercase from up there. This one's going to have a capital from up here and a lowercase from over there. And this one's going to have two lowercases. right? So probability of brown eyes, well, in this case, right here, this case, and this case, all three of those offspring are going to have brown eyes. So we're going to say 75%, all right? Because 3 out of 4 is 75%. Whereas this one with the two lowercase b's, that one's going to have blue eyes, but it's only 1 out of 4, so we'll say 25%. So that shows you how dominant traits, you tend to see them more often because they overpower the recessive traits, which happens here and here, right? All right, that's it. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions, let me know, and hopefully this prepares you for your quiz tomorrow or later today. Sorry.